Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of banner review, I guess. I'm gonna be reviewing the ruler of the Laguz. Nacella will be in a separate video with my Tempest Trial / GHB unit tier list update. Just thought I'd point that out. Right now I'm going to be talking about just the banner unit in general and beast units. Now, how do I feel about the beast units in general? Also, before we start, I guess I should mention this, but let's talk about just beast units as a whole. I feel like their concept has been rather poorly implemented. For some reason, they decided that errands should cast magic to attack, but it would be treated as physical. I do not know why they just didn't decide to put in the weapon a clause saying hits like magic, or just, you know, have more than one type of beast unit, because apparently a Hawk and an Aaron are the same goddamn thing. I don't get that. It just makes very little sense. I don't know, man. Weird limitation also with dragons. I get Digensia was also in their game, but at the end of the day, it's only because, you know, beast unit don't have a lot of units in the game, but oh well. Anyway, let's talk about the banner itself. I'm gonna start from worst to best, obviously, as typical as this is. And we'll start with Lian. I'm surprising probably no one with this, saying that she's probably the worst unit of the banner. So, Lian is a very strange case. I'm not sure if they knew what they were doing. Really doesn't feel like they did. So, you're giving a character a movement of 3. Okay? And then you give Flyer Formation, a skill that is very useful to get around when you have 2 movements, so you can actually move for 3 movement, using someone as a stepping stone that is also a flyer. Ah, that's the problem, isn't it? Using someone as a stepping stone for a flyer is 3 movements. You already have 3 movement. What's the point of this B skill, I wonder? It's good if she's not transformed, but that's really all it's good about. It's very, very, very shaky in general. I don't understand why they decided to go with this, but oh well. Which just goes with a pattern with, you know, those flyers in general. I do not understand why people are so fascinated about 3 movement. 3 movement has been a thing for flyers in a long time. For a long time, I mean. And I don't mean in the sense like where you can just, you know, move 3 movement. I mean like aerobatics, flyer formation, a lot of fucking flying, you know, birds or whatever could just have 3 movement through aerobatics or flyer formation. Yes, it's a tad more gimmicky in the end of the AI, but in the end of the player, it's extremely powerful. And yes, I get that this is a 3 movement, but it's basically the same. And you also have to realize, this is a problem with every beast unit, but the big problem that beast unit runs into is that they can't be next to any unit outside of dragons. This means you're limited in terms of build comp. If you want to have full buffs, you either have to have speed tactic or own flyers in a flyer only team. That's kind of a problem, because, well, let's just say, how many dragon flyer is there? There's Myrrh, there's Summer Tiki, and there's Flying Grima. That's it. That's 3 dragons. And then there's Tybarn, which, yes, I know it's pronounced T-Barn, but fuck that, that sounds horrible. Rayson and Leon. That's 6 units that can be used in that team comp. I know this is a problem that's going to get less and less important as time goes on, but it's worth mentioning right now. So, it's kind of shaky already if you're going to try to go for a flyer team, because, well, All of those units are 5-star exclusive. One of them is even a fucking legendary unit. Like, it's really difficult to make a team that works like this. You can definitely use a combo of legendary Azura with own attack 4, but at this point, what's the point of running Leon, yeah? And the problem Leon runs into is her bulk. 16 defense is extremely shaky. And the reason why I say she's worse than Raisin is Raisin can actually hit a somewhat decent amount of bulk. Especially at +10, so it's kind of shaky. She does have a niche as the first rest tank colorless melee unit, I guess. Actually, I think she's the only colorless melee range, melee damage unit of the entire game. Which, I mean, I guess it's strange and new, but it's still kind of shaky. 16 defense is too little to tank anything that matters in general. It doesn't mean she's horrible. It just means that she needs a bit more babysitting. The main point that she's going to be having is definitely using ploys. Ploys are going to be powerful for her because she has so much rest to make them work. But that's kind of all she's got. She also has another problem that a lot of other flyers don't have, and it's the fact that while they can rely on aerobatic and co, more importantly, they also have more flexibility. This is also a problem with Raisin, but you have to realize Leon and Raisin only have one weapon possible. Yeah? Whereas flyers can have something like Kadomatsu, Agoita, which are very good supporting tools. They can also have Scold in Elysian Traveler Olivia's case. They can also have Prayer Wheel in case of Legendary Azura. They also have Grey Waves in Legendary Azura's case. Like, they have various tools that Leon just can't have. And that just makes her overall not that interesting. 3 movement is cool and all, but you could already do this through aerobatics and flyer formation. So, alright. As for Own Beast, I don't consider it to be that relevant of a skill. Now, for now, I guess I should precise. Because we don't have enough Beast units. Yeah, you could make a Beast type team, but it's like, what do you have? You have Naysala, Tybarn, Raisin, and Nyla. That's it. And Nyla is like the best user of it. But like, if you're going to have 2 Beast units on the same team, you need to go full Beast unit. Which means 4 units out of 5 released units. So typically you'll be replacing this for, well, having someone on the team with own flyers, for example. Because otherwise it's kind of shaky. Anyway, let's talk build, because there's no comparison to be made for Leon. No characters are ever alike. The only character that has a similar stat spread is Sylvia, but Sylvia at least has a good color. Leon does not. Colorless is a double-edged sword when it comes down to melee fighters. It is amazing for bow units, which are meant to be DPS, so they don't get impeded by the fact that they have to deal with combat triangle, but when it comes down to a tank, it usually is a Achilles heel more than anything. Anyway, moving on to builds. This is really the main build I can think of. Again, Res Ploy would make sense because she should be eating Res, but she doesn't, so yay. The main thing is really just hitting your Ploy. Also, something before someone is curious, Toad's build does not consider them transformed, so add an extra 2 attack to all of them. But yeah, just thought I'd mention this. This is very, very basic. Leon is not a character I actually really want to encourage people to +10. As much as she looks adorable, and I absolutely adore her heart style, Plus 10 here is kind of pointless. I don't mean to say she's bad. Just mean to say Raisin might get demoted. And if Raisin might get demoted, what's the point of plus 10ing her when Raisin exists? Kind of a shame, really. Anyway, not much else to say. Let's talk about Raisin. In case you're curious, every unit has a plus 10 build I'm going to be showcasing outside of Lian, so alright. Most of what I could apply to Lian applies to Raisin as well. That's why it took so much time explaining Lian, but if you want me to talk about Raisin himself, his stat line is deceptively pretty good. He's one of those units that's going to be extremely happy to just see, how do you want to call this, the merge update happening, because boy oh boy does it help him. Raisin has the type of stat line where no matter what bane you take, you fuck yourself over. HP minus is probably the best bane to go for. Death Plus is obviously the best bane, the best boon to go for a defensive set, which is ideally what you should go for as a support dancer. Especially a support dancer with 3 movement, which means you'll be usually on the front lines and possibly have to take hits. If you have to take hits, you want to be bulky. You want to be able to take hits. So, you know. He doesn't have anything really special, 1 movement and 2 attack when he transforms. That's basically the main thing. Everything else is kind of, well, something you can throw away. Fortify Beast, I already mentioned how I feel about Own Beast. Everything I said about Fortify Beast, about Own Beast, holds true for Fortify Beast as well. So, let's move on to comparison, eh? As you can see, the difference in stat is very noticeable. For 1 attack and 1 speed, you get 2 more depth. That's it. The difference, however, is that you can hit 3 movements, which is pretty nice, and can free up your B skill for Wings of Mercy, for example, which is very good. But also, more importantly, you have a super boon in defense. 28-26 is a whole lot better than 22-26. Azura is definitely more the type of character that will go, you know, attack plus, speed plus, because she's definitely got a more aggressive stat line than most. But also, as strange as this sounds, if you're going to go for, you know, support, Azura might even be better. As I said, Aaron's Beak is your only weapon. On the other hand, when you're Azura, you have access to Agoita. And also, I believe, not Fresh Bouquet, but Grimmarv's weapon, however you call that one, buffing your stat by 4 attack, I believe. You have those types of weapon in your hands that you can use as buffing tools. Something that Raisin can't use, but other than this, Raisin will be a bit more useful support in general. So, yeah, not much to say about the comparison, it's very straightforward. Let's talk build, shall we? Here's a more budget build. You can go for something else than drive attack, I just used it there because, I mean, attack is always good. No matter the team comp, having more attack doesn't hurt. But if you want, you can go drive def, drive speed, all of this stuff. It really comes down to preference at this point. Like I said, it's a very basic set, but it works. As for a plus 10 build, you've already seen the build on my Olivia, but for those people who don't know, here you go. Yeah, like I said, this guy is extremely bulky, and if you wonder what buffs I'm using on those screenshots, I'm using tactics. Attack, def, and rest tactics. Why? Because those tend to work with most teams. You can have him away from people and it still works. So, yeah. Like I said, he can hit a pretty good amount of bulk. Actually hits more speed than my Olivia, which is a bit more consistent in avoiding doubles. And like I said, the merge update is a major buff for him. The second the update happens and rolls in, that's an extra 4 HP. So 41 HP, 44 def, 42 res. The lowest stat becomes like 41. Kind of stupid, really. Again, don't forget to add the 2 attack from Aaron's wing when it procs. But yeah, that's what I would run on Racing personally. Moving on to the Battle Boys. Boy, oh boy, am I happy to say that Sturdy Impact is a balanced skill. Did not think I would say that really out loud, but here we are. Sturdy Impact is locked away from Cavs and Armored Unit. Believe it or not, I believe Sturdy Impact is more balanced than Death Blow 4. As strange as this sounds, because Death Blow 4 Reinhardt, Death Blow 4 Bolt Fighter is fucking dangerous. I'm glad Armored Unit can't use this, because the most annoying set would be Myrrh. Myrrh's Special Fighter with Spirit Breath and Sturdy Impact is basically Omni Breaker with Guard on top of Steady Breath that works on every phase. Yeah, isn't that a bit broken? Yes, it definitely is. So I'm glad Armored Unit can't have access to it. Locking it to 2 things is something already nice. But infantry getting a buff, essentially, that's actually pretty nice. A buff that is more like less technical and more buff oriented, because infantry did get a few buffs, but it's something like infantry pulse, infantry rush, infantry flash, and recently null follow up and null see disrupt, which tend to be very situational skills. But Sturdy Impact is good on basically everyone. However, a lot of people overestimate that skill, which is good. It means that I can actually point this out, but Sturdy Impact, the fact that it kills a follow-up attack, doesn't really matter if you're on the offensive. You will obviously be killing on the first 2 hit, usually, in most matchups. At that point, what do you lose? Like, the fact that there is no follow-up doesn't hurt all that much. That said, you can make some pretty nasty combos with this. Oh boy, you can. Especially with Gale Force. Which, I'm happy to tell you, all beast units can use Gale Force. Tybar is probably the best Gale Force user out of the beast units we've got, due to his absolutely immense attack stat, the fact that there's no flashing blade, so fuck you, Nesala, and more importantly is weapon effect and Sturdy Impact. Alright, so first off, his weapon is basically upward to 19 might. So, if he's transformed, that's 57 attack in 3 movements. If he attacks, that's 63 attack. Proccing Heavy Blade is child's play at that point. And more importantly, because of his weapon, and I misread it the first time, I'm sorry, it does not rely on his HP, but on the foe's HP. So, that makes it absolutely broken, because he can just attack, get hit, attack again, and look, Gale Force is ready. then he can go and smash someone else. Very good in tandem with attack smoke, for example. If you have some attack tactic support, that's 69 attack. 69 attack is really fucking high for no reason. So, alright. And with Sturdy Impact, if you combo Sturdy Impact with All King's Claw, you end up having an Omni Breaker. And at the same time, it's not totally broken, because you can just take damage from like Bolt Towers, Bolt Traps in Aether Raids. In those cases, he does not get a follow-up, so that's kind of interesting. And it's, you know, something that you can just stop in its track. It's actually kind of nice. And he's the only flyer that can really play this way. Sturdy Impact is also the first aggressive A slot that any flyers can have, like exclusively to flyers. Flyers always had mobility B slots, which were like aerobatics, flyer formation, flyer guidance, which for some reason they keep splitting like skills into 2 skills. Apparently they think they're too broken. I'm okay with this, but like, flyers never got any buffs whatsoever when it comes down to combat capability. So this is really nice to see them get Sturdy Impact. It's a whole new skill. And again, like I said, I find it to be very balanced. Tybarn, on the other hand, is really good with it. He's definitely the best user of it, because the fact is, I can just fight a blue unit with a lot of speed, still double, probably break their ass, and if I don't break their ass, I can still go again with Gale Force Heavy Blade. It is absolutely nasty. And Shell Attack synergizes with Heavy Blade as well. If there is anyone with, you know, 69 attack or more, you know. Hawking Claw is overall a very good weapon. Having an extra movement and Omni Breaker is absolutely dangerous. Seeing him in arena will be very dangerous, but thankfully at the same time, it's only 162 to 163 BSD, I think. So after the merge update, that's going to be, well, 165 BSD, but like, you still won't see him that much in arena, which is the best thing about beast units. You won't see them much in arena because it's score dependent. So, alright. And at the same time, for people who actually like those characters, they can actually use them. Everyone wins! Like, a lot of people think Ira is not good because they don't see her in arena, but it's like, guys, it's only because she doesn't score well. That doesn't mean she's bad. But yeah, pretty solid unit. So let's move to comparison. So when I saw Tyburn's stats at first, my first reaction was, wow, that's Levitain. And sure enough, the only difference is one more attack, and well, that's kind of just it, really. Like, one more attack at the cost of like 2 HP and 4 res. It's just kind of strange, isn't it? Oh wait, no, not at the cost. 2 more HP, 1 more attack at the cost of 4 res. There we go. Levitain is overall better when it comes down to doing a lot of damage, but the thing is, she's a bit reliant on IVs to actually do a lot of damage, since you want to have speed plus to be able to double consistently. Something Tyburn doesn't really need. No matter what IVs you get on Tyburn, he's gonna be good. Attack minus is obviously the best bane, not the best bane, the worst bane, but even then, he's pretty solid. Tyburn is a pretty solid unit overall, and I would say, yes, Levitain is comparable, but that does not mean he's worse. Like I said, he's very good with Gale Force shenanigans, which is something that Levitain can do. He's basically like the way I use my Rid. Except the only thing that stops him, well, it's speed, nothing else. Yeah, it's just really speed. Because the best part with Rid was just, oh look, I break Wary Fighter, still double you and kill you anyway, like I do with Surtur. But the thing is, that really doesn't matter, does it? At this point, you already have the speed to double Surtur to begin with, while getting an extra 6 attack and preventing follow-up. So if they have something else, then Wary Fighter doesn't matter, still doesn't get any follow-up, unless it's Bolt Fighter on player phase. Sturdy Blow is a very solid skill if you're player phase only, but it is not Tyburn's best A slot in my opinion. Yes, I said it. You actually want to replace Sturdy Impact despite being like this insane skill, as strange as it is, because at the end of the day, does it matter that you get rid of the follow-up unless you fight blues? And even blues, it kinda depends, like it's a case-to-case basis, because you can actually kill a good deal of blues with Tybarn. And hell, if you have some drives around, especially Brave Lucina because she synergizes with beast units, you can hit so much attack that it doesn't matter, you still kill the blue unit. So let's go builds, eh? This is the one with Sturdy Impact, since this is the more budget friendly one. The actual best build he runs requires the same skill Nasal is going to be requiring on his best set, which is Luck to a Seasonal. So yeah, as you can see, Gale Force and Aether. Desperation synergize really well with his weapon, but you don't want to run Desperation if you run his Gale Force set. Why? Because then he only gets 4 charges instead of 5, so he could actually not proc Gale Force, which would be a problem. The best thing about Tybarn is the hit and run tactic. You can just attack, kill with Gale Force, and then fuck right off. So you can be completely safe as a result. He's basically, a good example would be like a flying Rid. Yeah, I guess that would be a good comparison. The only problem is that he only would be like Rid on player phase. On enemy phase, he will be fucked. Whereas Rid has a very strong enemy phase because all he has to do is break something, attack smoke procs, and everything else has basically a breaker imposed on them, which is really good for him. So, yeah, attack smoke surprises no one. If he's going to be on the offensive, you want him to attack, and like if he needs to get another kill, this helps him take as little damage as possible. Now let's go to +10 set, eh? This is what I mean by this is his best set. 43 defense on enemy phase is absolutely lethal. He's not +10 on the screenshot, but at the end of the day, if you add the transformation and +10, that's 76 attack. 76 attack kills a lot of units. Even if they're blue, they're going to get serious damage. And the best part about it is you can also just go like Gale Force instead of this set, and just be like, okay, I smash a unit, I proc attack smoke, I have basically 50 defense against them if they're melee. I can just basically kill another unit and stay there, it doesn't matter, quick repulse kills. The main reason though you want maybe quick repulse Aether is the fact that you can have a guaranteed follow-up on enemy phase as a result. If you want to get rid of quick repulse, Speed Plus might be a good IV for you. As I said, she is basically very comparable to Leviathan, and Leviathan really likes Speed Plus. If you have speed plus and buffs, you're looking upward to 44 speed. At that point, doesn't matter about quick repose, you can run guard instead. Guard will let you just ignore specials, and Bolt Fighter will do much less problems for you. So it would be a definite better option for you. But if you go attack plus, which is definitely still decent, this is a good option. You could also go attack res solo if you want him to have 37-30 or at plus 10 41-34. But that really comes down to preference, really. The reason I selected def minus here, and this is irrelevant if you're going for plus 10 because the pain don't matter, is so his res is decent enough so he can take a hit if needed. There are plenty of dragons out there and there's plenty of mages, so being able to take a hit if needed is a good thing. But yeah. Let's move to the crown jewel of this banner, which is Nyla. Now, the first impression I had with Nyla was, wow, this is a blue Ira. And yeah, it is. Don't know what to tell you, boy. It's literally like 2 more res, 1 more def, 1 less HP, 2 less attack. Ira. Something around that. I believe even a level 1 stat has like maybe 1 point difference here or there. And that's it. Everything else is like Ira. It's quite noticeable because Ira is probably my most used unit. And I fucking adore this stat line. It is by far the best stat line of any infantry unit. So it makes sense for them to copy it for a, what, 3rd time now? Legendary Marth, Owain, and Nyla, yeah. This stat line is insane. And for Nyla, it's even better. Like you can make the point that, oh, she loses attack. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you run Slaying Edge on Ira. It's 14 might. She gets a 16 might weapon once she's transformed. It's the same might. Does it matter? Fuck no. Ira is a threat to be reckoned with. She's like a mix of Fur and Ira, because her weapon is basically Nameless Blade when she's transformed. But there is even more to it than that. Because if you have any unit in 2 range of her, she gets more stats. They decided Nameless Blade wasn't enough. We also need to smash Fire Posey in there. That's a absolutely broken effect. You don't even need to buff her speed anymore. Because at the end of the day, if you have 2 people around her, that's already 41 speed. It's already enough to block most double. And if you have like speed tactic on top of this, well, goddamn, you're at 47 speed. Carla and Ira don't double your ass at that point. And you one-shot them anyway, so who cares? This girl is a monster. However, in high-tier arenas play, you won't be able to use Moonbow. Not being able to use Moonbow is kind of a problem because that's her main source of damage. So you're stuck with using Blue Flame. Blue Flame is horrible when it comes down to synergy. So unless you use a Beast/Dragon type unit, this can be a problem. So yeah, let's talk comparison. The closest Ira clone I could think of are those 2. Yeah. She has just more speed, a bit more health, at the cost of some defense. Also has a bit more res than Nephany, because she's Gen 2, and Nephany is Gen 1. Pretty simple, eh? Corin is also a pretty good comparison. I believe Corin also scored higher, because he has, you know, higher BST. He also has a weapon that's very similar, needing people around him to buff his attack and speed. And yeah, very similar stat line wise, but the thing is, at the end of the day, Nyla's weapon is just so much more threatening than Corrin's. It's actually disgusting just how much you can do with Nyla. I ended up building my Nyla on stream. Yes, I did manage to pull one on my free tickets. My Nyla ended up going in Squad Assault and breaking down an 80 HP armored unit with 32 spec damage proc twice with Moonbow. That's 64 damage with just Moonbows. Let alone the actual damage of her hitting. This is insane. Granted, I did give her a fairly expensive build, but, you know. So, yeah, she's a fantastic unit. Like I said, Ira, in my opinion, has the best stat line of any non-armored unit of this entire game. So, yeah. It's the type of stat line where you can be aggressive, but also take a hit. And the fact that you can take a hit means you can use Brazen and Wrath effectively. And the second you can use those skills, you get so much leeway with a unit of this caliber. Because then you get like 20 plus damage proc with Moonbow, on top of being able to use double Brazens, or like solo skills, or like combo or weapon into solo skills, or combo or weapon into Brazen skills, and get so much leeway. It is disgusting. Having 3 people in a range, attack tactic, and then on top of this like double Brazen, that's literally 26 attack right there. On top of her, you know, 16 might weapon when she's transformed. That's 42 might. Like, what the fuck? That's a Blade Tome. That's a fucking Blade Tome. Then you smash this on 31 attack, you're at over 70 attack. Proccing with Moonbow at that point, under Wrath, is literally able to do like 50 plus damage to a like 50 defense unit. It is absolutely deadly. And Ira does have a bit less variation than Nyla, but honestly the fact that she has Nameless Blade and more attack than Fur, enough attack to actually make up for the fact that, you know, she doesn't have Ira's Regnal Astra, makes her absolutely deadly. I'd say she's about tied with Ira in terms of damage on specials, so yeah, she's basically just a blue Ira, is what I'm saying, and Ira is insane, so I do honestly think Nyla is an S+ tier unit, with no questions asked. I will say though, she's a bit more unwieldy than Ira, because she cannot be near anything that is in Dragons or Beast units. But if you can use her in that kind of setting, she is absolutely insane. You can also combo own attack for Azura, or like, no, not own attack for Azura, but like own attack for on one of your unit, and then Dancer with Legendary Azura for 7 in all stats. That way you can keep the transformation and get +7 in all stats. Just thought I'd point that out because it is one of the best combo you can do. And also one of the problem I have with Rayson and Leon in general. Legendary Azura just has so much more potential with those units that it's like, yeah, but why bother, you know? Now, if Rayson demotes, he's definitely a good project to +10, but otherwise, maybe just get a copy if you like the character and leave it at that. But yeah, let's talk build, eh? Surprising no one. The build to the left is what I use on my Ira, actually. I use P+ instead of Attack+, but the thing is, Nyla already covers up the speed part with, you know, her weapon. Do, however, keep in mind that she's going to be a lot frailer than Ira is, because Ira gets the sling edge and you obviously refine it. Having an extra 5, you know, HP is extremely good for this type of unit. It makes the threshold for Wrath and such, you know, wider, which is always good. But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. The build to the right is more of a arena scoring set. Obviously, you would change reposition for something else. Also, that's something I forgot to mention. Reposition, that's kind of a bad assist for them. Because if you repo, say, oh, I don't know, random fucking flyer number 57, oh, you transform back. And then you lose the Wadao effect. Or in Tyrant's case, you lose movements. So, typically what you'd want to run on Nyla is Shove. Shove or Smite. Because otherwise, you might get fucked. This is a good way to, you know, push someone out of the way without transforming back. So, you know. Fierce Breath into Blue Flame is really good. 45 extra damage is godlike. You can actually watch quite a bit of units like this. And the fact remains, 31 attack looks small, but with attack plus, and then on top of that, like 2 people around you, you have 38 base attack. 54 attack with the weapon, 60 attack if you're buffed. And I'm not even considering drive attack here. You can just slap a Marth with double drive attack, and that's like an extra 8 attack. It's so easy to just build on attack in this game that don't let her low attack deceive you. She is absolutely insane. There is a reason why Fur went from like B tier to fucking S tier the second she got Nameless Blade, okay? Attack is not everything, my guy. Specials are everything. And when it comes down to special, Nyla is one of the best user of them. Now, oh, and No See Disrupt. I forgot to mention No See Disrupt. None of my build run No See Disrupt because I believe she's a bad user of it. However, if you want me to talk about No See Disrupt itself, let's do so right now. I ran some tests yesterday and that's the entire reason why this video is a bit late. Sorry about that. No See Disrupt. If you equip this to a user of Fire Sweep, when they attack, foe can't hit back. If they get attacked, they can't hit back. It negates the Fire Sweep problem that you have yourself. If Nyla attacks, like if Nyla had No See Disrupt, and were to attack someone with Fire Sweep, they still can't hit back. It doesn't negate it. It doesn't negate it for the foe. Also, No See Disrupt only, you know, negates Flash, though you will still see the icon. So it's a bit misleading. You still see the icon of Flash, but they still can hit back anyway. A bit strange, I know, but whatever. Panic Ploy does nothing. Debuff does nothing. None of those skills do anything, really. It just comes down to Flash gets negated in Candlelight. Also a Mulu, I suppose. If anyone ever uses that weapon. And yeah, that's kind of just it. There's nothing else. So, alright. So, plus 10 build. Surprising no one, this is what I'd use personally. Though I actually have a different set myself. I decided to go attack res solo on mine. And comboed it with close defense. So in other words, once the, you know, merge update happens, this would be 36-31 with attack res solo, that's 36-37. With buff, that's 42-43, and on top of that, with close defense, that's 48-49 when you're on enemy phase. 48-49 is absolutely insane. No matter how you look at it, that is extremely bulky, but that can also be a problem, because that also means that you might have trouble getting in RAF range. That said, the second you're into RAF range, you hit so much attack, and you are not reliant on, you know, HP threshold in the first place for you to do damage. So that's good. That means you're good from the get-go. Just thought I'd mention that. I should have definitely showcased my build, but oh well. So yeah, this is what I had to say about the Beast units. Definitely a really good banner overall. Definitely pull for Tybarn and Nyla. Rayson, I feel like will be demoted because, I mean, IS hasn't demoted any unit in 4 months. If they don't demote a unit on this banner, that means 5 months, because we're getting not 1, but 2 seasonal banners in a row. So, this is kind of a shame. If they don't demote Rayson, that's just disgusting. I mean, Silas has still been our last demote. Can we finally get something new, you know? The pool has been increasingly disappointing to summon on. And honestly, that's the entire reason why I gave up on the Pokédex. What's the point when all you see is either the unit you want or units you don't want? You know? Nyla might be also a project I plan on plus 10ing in the future, but right now I kinda already have my hands full of plus 10 projects. Tiki is going to be the project I'm gonna be working on this month, so, you know. This side, I'm going to wait Nyla to be on a 3-man banner, since those have better odds anyway. But, yeah. Gonna leave it at that. Not much else to say about the banner. Hope you have a nice day. I'm going to be covering Nacella also today, hopefully. I suppose we'll see how that goes. But, yeah. See you later.